Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to Play by Email 6, turn 70. Alright, let's get this show started. So, what do we've got in here? First of all, I see two barbarian spears for some unknown reason. Two barbarian spears for some unknown reason. How did it happen, by the way? I'm just wondering, how did that happen? They've got two spears in here because I don't get it. I don't get it. How did that happen? Anyways, it's cool that they are there. We can actually kill them, but two spears? Yep, I know I want to move them back, especially that I don't want one archer to be struck by two spears. I actually want to move two archers back, but the problem is with that I'm not going to zone control the spearmen in the front. We shall see about that. See you, Tartan Tori, thanks for being here. Alright, let's start off with the comments one more time. So, Mr. Nick. This play by email needs Miss Yoruus. Okay, I already said to you, Mr. Nick, Miss Yoruus. Yeah, I know you want Miss Yoruus. We shall see what I can do about that. On gold, I think we want to be very careful from now on when buying tiles. Very careful. Upgrading 6 archers into composites will cost 75 each. So that's 450 total. Secondly, we finally get a great writer to fulfill. When we finally get sure. Ah, okay, give me a second. Okay. Okay. Secondly, when we finally get a great writer to fulfill our Monaco quest, we may wish to give them some gold to extend our culture benefits, especially if we're in medieval era and the culture city-states culture from city-states doubles. Monaco wants a great writer. Monaco wants a great writer. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff that we need to get from gold, and for some unknown reason our gold income right now is quite poor. You're probably right then. Yeah, you're probably right. We shall see about that. On Persia, whether Persia is a weasel or not, it is still usually better to engage and see what happens than don't engage at all, right? Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm simply naive, but offering him something in exchange for him avoiding our barb camps seems better than having to threaten with war. We have tons of silver, and even if it only has 50% chance of working, that's still good odds, isn't it? Alright, Mr. Nick, I will try to have a chat with Mr. Persia, though I'm kind of not optimistic about the chat. I don't think it's going to end well, and might be actually treated a little bit differently than we want it to be treated, but we can try at least. You're probably right. Fearsome Warrior. About the Milky Way bar, it's better to either grow faster on 2 cows or build granary faster on a sheep horse. But growing on 2 cows, then later most of tiles are still food tiles. On the other hand, it can become a strong big city fast, not mentioning fast stables, so in the long run there is nothing wrong with growing it fast. Well, about the Milky Way bar, the only problem for me right now, as it stands for the Milky Way bar, we do not have an additional hammer tile that we could possibly work, and it does not really come into an option if we were not going to buy a tile right now to like grow into population 3 and putting a citizen into unemployed status to get extra hammer, because we're still not going to be able to work it. So actually granary is probably the most decent idea, because if it's going to grow to population 3 and we will not have an additional hammer tile to work at the moment, we can just unemploy the guy and at 3 pop have additional hammer. At least that's what I think about it. Jaffe, I did. Alright, For Fromsk, quick question. All players must make their moves one by one in a sequence, like player 3 can make his move only after player 2 made his move. Or all players can make their moves at any time. If it's a sequence, players must choose time frame and make their moves within this time frame. So the following players have enough time. Thanks. Well, in essence, Fromsk, this is hot seat mode. So yes, every player takes their turn after the other one. So Team 1, well, player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, and there's basically no time limit on making the moves. It's just like a courtesy to just make the turns as fast as possible, which I fail lately quite horribly, though we're improving slowly, especially thanks to Mr. Nick, because, yeah, you know what. Alright, and the second comment from Mr. Fromsk is Yoruus have largest territories, smallest army, and poor scouting. I won't be surprised if somebody will attack soon. Well, we shall see about that. It's not like that big of a problem, and the beauty of the situation right now is that since we have an agreement with Germany at the moment, I wouldn't be afraid about this side. From Byzantine, they need to go through Germany, and if somebody really like Persia wants to attack from here, so okay, they will start attacking this side. And they will most probably not get far because, you know, we're starting to pop units finally. But if we gonna have troubles, then we're just gonna deal with them. And if we're not gonna get troubles and we'll survive for a little bit more turns, those cities will be just crazy, which is the plan basically in this game. Alright, Mr. Roma. Yoruus, tell please, why are you so much hating the growth in your cities? You could work 2 cows in Milky Way and get that additional pop faster. The same thing is Brillianto, work stone instead of gems. Postscriptum, Gul Chatai is a girl's name, but it's hard to explain the meaning if you haven't seen the film. Alright, Roma, thank you very much. What film, if you'll be so kind to actually tell me what film it is? Hey, kiddo. And the answer from Nick is you're forgetting tradition, Matt. When we finish tradition, all our food gets multiplied by 55%. We get free aqueducts in the first 4 cities, 40% food carryover, and we get empire-wide growth 50%. This is massive. Early in tradition games, it is much better to crank out granaries, archers, and workers. Then when we finish tradition in roughly 25 turns, we can start growing and getting 55% food bonus. Right now we are generating massive golden hammers, and we're going to leapfrog Liberty players when we start growing those faster. Archers means more culture, and we need to avoid being last in army. Basically, I agree with everything that Nick said in that answer to that comment. I absolutely agree with that, and this is the beauty of this situation. Now, Milky Way bar, for example, I said that like a couple of minutes ago. There's no point in growing this city faster. The only additional thing that we're gonna get at the moment from growing this city faster is an additional science, and that's about it, because we're not cranking out any extra hammers at the moment because we don't have any hammers to work right now. So in my opinion, it's just so much better to get additional hammers at the moment and crank out those buildings as fast as possible, and the growth will come there eventually. There's no rush into growing cities right now. I feel like in early game the most important part is hammers every single time, because it speeds up everything tremendously, and the growth will catch up eventually. So this is why I'm focusing on hammers. Same goes for Brillianto in here and all the other stuff. Especially I do want hammers and I do want gold. This is a huge discrepancy between 1 and 3 hammers. Basically look at this like percentage way. Alright, so if we're gonna work in here, we're getting 3 hammers, right? If we're gonna go in here, this is almost 100% more hammers. So yeah, you kind of thinking like, okay, but you're growing. Okay, fine, but right now I'm working 100% more hammers, which is huge. It's a huge difference having something twice as fast instead of like, yeah, simple as that. So working food is just not good at the moment, in my opinion. Alright, so this is all with the comments. Now we'll have to deal somehow with the barbarians. So let's do the easier moves first. So the easier move is obviously shooting the spearmen, because it gets on my nerves. Moving the scout into position in here. Healing up Shuminator. healing up Mr. Shuminator and moving the settler here. Nobody will be able to snatch it because there's no units around this place, so no problem around here. And the only last thing that we need to kind of figure out is how we're gonna do the moves in this particular city. And now there's several options that could happen potentially. First of all, I have bloody no idea where 2 barbarian spearmen spawned from this camp. It's totally, absolutely unreasonable that we got 2 barb spearmen around this place. This is just, how did that happen? How did that happen? I have no idea. So how do we deal with that? I need to back off this archer because this archer can be attacked by this spearman and can be attacked by this spearman. Now, in all honesty, I do believe that we can actually pick off this frontal spearman with all those 3 shots. Let's try this out this way. I'm going to back this guy off. I'm going to shoot. It's not going to cut it. Shoot. Yeah, it's not gonna cut it right now. So 2 options again. Option number 1, we stay on spot and maybe be hit by barb brute and barb spearman, but on the other hand there might be a slight chance that this warrior will actually back away, which shouldn't happen. This spearman, yeah, that's a good question. What do we do? Do we let him pillage? Do we let him pillage the cow, back off with an archer so we'll not lose health, so we can move forward a little bit later on, pick on those 2 archers relatively quickly, and just kill those spearmen? So kind of bait those spearmen inside our land so they will not run away anywhere else, at a cost of actually getting the cow tile pillaged for a second. Yes, but right now what could happen, Mr. Nick? What could happen in this situation is that this barb will go to the cow and this spearman will get in here and try to attack the archer. Now it's gonna get a lot more flanking bonus, so I think we could get those couple of turns downside on cow actually. Couple of lost turns on the cow to actually improve them, because I still can't get that archer off in here. This archer needs to stay in here anyways until I am gonna crush it, and I'm not certain if the barb warrior will not move from the camp. I think that it actually could move and it could cost an archer. I don't want to lose an archer. We can't lose an archer. I would prefer to play the safe way. On top of that, if they will actually attack the archer, this archer is gonna lose like 40% HP and it will need to be healed anyways, and I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that, Mr. Nick. I don't like it. So we're gonna move here. We're gonna move here and let the barb spearman pillage the cow, and maybe we're gonna bait him back. So in this essence, this guy's gonna go here. This guy's gonna go here, and then we're gonna improve the cow later on, so the worker will have to wait a little bit in here, no problems. Right, everything else is micromanaged properly, I would say. Yes and yes. And here we're getting that settler up and running here. So I would say that we need to start thinking again. We need to consider about the settlement spot of our 6th city. Will it go here or it will go there? I think we need to make a stropple one more time and get the discussion going. Planting on iron allows us to work the silver instantly. It's going to grab us 2 additional hammers and 2 additional hammers from the silver actually. While we're going to crank out the granary, well actually monument into a granary or granary into a monument, so we can get those 2 cargo ships to our capital relatively fast. And get those crucial buildings as fast as possible, so we've got those core cities up and running. Right, So that's the choice, here or here. And actually getting iron. Well, the cool part about this, actually, this city on here. Alright, so we're gonna leave this on one turn, right? So I can actually have more time to record this stuff. Alright. Alright, so yeah. You're probably right, Mr. Nick. And what? We need name for 5th city and we need name for a 6th city. So I invite you to start discussing that. And what else? I think that's it for this turn, right? There's nothing that we can do. We can only see that we're starting to slack off with hammers a little bit. We're exactly 9 hammers behind Germany. That might be because he's cranking out a settler, which I highly doubt. I just think that his cities started to kick in slowly. This is strange. Maybe he's actually thinking about adding an additional city. We shall see about that. Alright, so I guess that's it for this turn then. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Best wishes. Yours out.